this new EQ by Analog Obsession includes saturation as well as the EQ move, right? So you have the fixed bands, right, that you affect below the 0 decibels or above cut or boost, and you double click and it resets by default. You have from 12 kilohertz and 12 hertz all the way up to 16K that you can affect. And the interesting tool here is the saturation added to each individual band, so you can add separately saturation. If you click here on this M, which stands for mode, you can add saturation. This yellow control will add the saturation on that particular band. If you disable the yellow control, you have still that control for that particular band. So pretty cool. When you enable it, you have the saturation that you added, but you can see two of those process individually and separately. For instance, if I add some saturation here at 4K, I can still use this to cut or boost. So pretty cool. And yeah, I think very creative by the Analog Obsession developer. All right, and besides the bands, you have an input and output, and also a dry and wet control to blend the unprocessed and processed signal. And if you click in the Analog Obsession logo, you are gonna be enabling oversampling up to 4x to avoid digital distortion, especially in mastering. And this I/O, it's turns off the plugin, the whole process, and this individual I/O turn off or disable the separate bands. All right, so let's check it out here on drums. Let's add some highs. Okay, not too much. Let's cut some lower mid-range. Okay, if I would want to saturate, for instance, the low end, by the way, saturation can help you to control the dynamics. For instance, in the kick drum in this case, at 63 hertz. Let's add some saturation at 4K. It's not very noticeable. You would need to add a ton of saturation on different bands to notice it, but it definitely compresses and saturates the signal in a subtle way. Before, after. Okay, let's also saturate the 8K. Right, let's check out this EQ that works great on guitars as well, because of the bands these equalizers have are very musical, right? These fixed bands that we have here. So let's add some saturation in the highs. Some EQ. There you notice a bit more the saturation on electric guitars. Let's disable it. Turn off.